Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video my face looks really shiny because I've just primed with an illuminating primer, so please ignore that for the moment. But today I'm going to film a video that was actually inspired by Sophie, also known as Soph Does Nails on YouTube. She recently did a video using all of her cheapest makeup products for a full face of makeup, so I thought I'd give it a go. Now I just want to point out that a lot of these things I don't actually know how much they were. One, because I've looked online and can't find prices, or because they've been freebies in like magazines and stuff. Basically I'm trying to use the stuff that was the cheapest or would be the cheapest, so you can sort of gather how much they would be. I mean, obviously things from magazines, I don't really know how you'd price them because they're cheap freebies that come with a £3 magazine like from when you were a kid. So yeah, some of this stuff I've had for a while. I might actually throw a couple of these things out when I've used them, mainly the eyeshadow palette, but you will get to see that as the video goes on. So if you want to see a full face of me using my cheapest makeup, then keep on watching. I've already moisturised and primed my face. The reason I've not talked about my primer is because the only primer I have at the moment is my Estee Lauder one, and it's an illuminating one, as you can tell, but that's the only one I have, and although it technically is my cheapest primer because it's the only one I have, it's still not affordable, so I didn't want to show it in this because I just thought it'd be a bit odd. But yeah, I'm going to start with foundation, and the foundation I'm going to use is the Max Factor Pan Stick, I think it's called. It looks like this, probably not going to focus. Oh, God. Come on, I'm gonna have to do the standard YouTube thing. There we go, that's what it looks like, and it's just a foundation stick and looks like this. I've been using this quite a bit recently. The colour might be slightly off for me, I think it is, I'm not really sure. Once I've blended it in it usually looks alright, but I have used this quite a few times recently and it's okay, it's just quite drying. I don't know if it's just because I have quite dry skin, but it is quite a dry foundation. It feels really oily when you put it on, but once I've blended it in, it starts to like cling to dry patches. It's not the best, but I use it at the moment and it's okay. Not my favourite, but it's not the worst thing ever either. So I'm just going to apply this to my face, and then I'm going to blend it in with the same brush I always blend it in with, which is this Primark PS Pro brush, and it's one of these ones. I don't know what they're called, but it looks like a toothbrush, that's what I always think. It looks like I'm really caking it on. Once you blend it out, the coverage isn't as high, so although it looks like I've caked it on, you'll see when I blend it out. I can't remember if I said this at the beginning of the video as well. I can't remember some of these products. I can't remember if they are definitely my cheapest out of all of those particular products. If you get me, like for example blusher, it might not be the cheapest one I own, but for some of them I'm not 100% sure because I can't find prices and stuff, but it's at least one of the cheapest anyway. But I've tried to find all my cheapest ones for you. I find it quite hard to apply foundation with brushes because I always make it look dead streaky. But now I'm gonna move on to concealer and contour. The reason I'm doing them together is because I have this palette here, which I haven't really used all that much. Basically it's got a mixture of cream products in. It's got some colour correctors, which I probably should have used to show you what they're like, but I rarely use colour correctors anymore at all. I don't think I've ever really used them that much. So I'm going to use one of these concealer shades and then also use one of the dark shades to contour. I don't often cream contour either, but this is technically my cheapest contour, so we're going to try it. And same with concealer. I just don't really use this palette that much at all. I got it from an app called Wish. I don't know if you've heard of it before. It was like £3 I think. It's not the best, but it's alright. So I'm going to start with concealer, and I think I'm going to use, if I can find it, I'm going to use this brush from Real Techniques, which is just a concealer brush, pointed foundation brush, although it's quite small, so I don't know when you'd ever apply foundation with this because it takes some time. I mean, look at it. Anyway, I'm just going to use it for concealer, and I'm going to go with the lightest concealer shade, which I haven't even got in shot. This one here, so that it's brightening as well. I haven't used this in a while, I just remember it being really dry, and literally, if you could feel how dry this is. Oh, it's applying a lot creamier on my actual skin. I'm acting as if this is a first impressions, it's just because I haven't used it in the longest time. I seem to have pretty bad under eye bags at the minute for some reason. Don't know if it's like my anxiety and stuff, I don't really know. But yeah, I'm just blending that. God, this is looking so streaky. I always like to take my concealer over my eyelids as well to use as a eyeshadow primer, because I don't often use proper eyeshadow primers. I have some samples of the Urban Decay primer potion, but I usually find it quicker and easier to just use my concealer. I mean, I can see a difference kind of. Again, I wouldn't choose to use this because it's not the best. I don't really need concealer anywhere else because I haven't really got any spots. So I'm just going to put some down my nose because it's quite red for some reason. Okay, so that's going to have to do for foundation and concealer. It doesn't look great, but I'm going to go on to the contour now, which I wouldn't normally do. Normally I'd set my face with powder now, but because I'm using a cream contour, I don't want to set my face and then use cream products because it'll just go awfully. But I do feel like it's still going to move my foundation. I'm going to go with this one because it looks like the one I've used more, so I'm guessing this was the right shade when I used it. I think I'm going to use this brush, which is my MAC 130 brush. This was meant to be for my foundation that I got ages ago, but it's too small and takes forever and makes it a bit streaky, so I'm just going to use it for this. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to take that shade I showed you, swirl it around a bit. It's a bit sticky, and see how this goes. Oh god, I just know it's not going to end well. To be honest, that applied really smoothly. I'm trying not to put too much on. I mean, I kind of just ruined that, didn't I? I'll put a bit under the jawline, seeing as I picked up way more than I needed to on my brush. That's actually blended out a lot nicer than I thought. Again, it looks way harsher on camera. That was actually a lot quicker than expected, and I actually think it looks quite nice. Apart from the fact that my whole face in general looks quite streaky, just, I don't really know. I'm gonna set my face with powder now, and the powder I'm gonna use is this Collection loose powder, which I seem to have quite a fair amount left still, but it never wants to come out, so it's quite a struggle. But I don't really like this that much. I've just been using it to try and use it up before I get a fixed powder, not a loose one, because I got this one because I wanted to try out baking when that first became a thing, but it just didn't work out for me. This is a little bit dark anyway to do baking, so I think it oxidizes quite a bit. But I am going to apply that with a fluffy brush from Makeup Revolution and just apply that all over my face. Oh dear, as I've set it, it's gone so weird and dry. I think from a distance it doesn't look too bad, but once you get close up it's not great. I do like the effect of cream contour, I'm not gonna lie, it's just I rarely do it because I just know it's gonna mess up my makeup altogether. But anyway, now onto brows. I'm gonna use the same thing I always use, and it is the NYX Tame and Frame brow pomade, which was about £5. I forgot to mention the prices of the other things I've used so far. I'm really not doing well at this today. This was about £5. This I told you was about £3. Powder was £3 as well, I think. This was £5, about £5 anyway. And I'm going to use that today, even though I use this on a daily basis anyway. It's because it's my favourite at the moment. I mean, I say this in every makeup video. I have awful brows because I haven't gotten them done for God knows how long. So just ignore them. I will get them done eventually. Just one of those things I just haven't got round to doing. And I don't mind how they look natural a lot of the time. Like, I still fill them in, but like they look more bushy and natural, although sometimes they do look horrific. Majority of the time they do. That's gonna have to do for brows. Let's just not think about that. This is actually a really good product. I really do recommend it. Just don't judge it on the way I've done my brows, because obviously I'm not good at it. Now I'm gonna go on to eyeshadow, and I'm gonna use this eyeshadow palette. Again, this was some kind of freebie I got in a magazine, I believe. I've had this a very long time, and I'm probably gonna get rid of it once this video is over because I do want to kind of clear out some of the stuff I genuinely never use. And this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. It just says eye compact. Yeah, it looks like the sort of thing you'd get free out of a magazine. It comes with one of those crappy brushes at the top. It's got a mirror. I mean, that's good. Oh my god. If you could see what I look like in this mirror. It literally looks like I've got a Snapchat filter on my face. I hope I can show what this looks like. I'm going to try and get a picture, but I bet it's just not going to work, is it? But we'll see. Okay, I've just taken a video of it on my phone, so I'll try and insert that here so you can see what that mirror looks like. I looked into it, I was like, oh, it's got a good mirror. And then I realised that I look like a Snapchat filter. But yeah, these are the colours here. An interesting array of colours there. They're all shimmery. Yep, they're all shimmery. There's no matte shades at all. I think I'm going to use this brown colour here. Just go for the same sort of shades I would normally use. So I'll go for that one and put that through the crease, I guess. Oh, okay. It's actually decently pigmented. I did put my brush in it quite a lot, but still this is quite good for something that's like a really, really cheap palette sort of thing. I mean, that's actually not that bad. Obviously I'm gonna like blend it out properly with a blending brush when I finish my eye makeup, but when I finish my eyeshadow, but that's actually more pigmented than I expected and quite a nice colour. I'm gonna go with the palest shade on the lid to add a bit of a pop. So we'll see how that works. Oh, I forgot to clean the bloody brush. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of pigment there. It just is like slightly shimmery dust on my eye. But we'll go with it. Okay, so I've finished with the eyeshadow. I've just blended out the edges as well. I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, this is the sort of eye look that I wouldn't mind wearing out in public. Still not the best eyeshadow palette in the world, obviously, but it'll do. Now I'm going to go on to liquid eyeliner, and I have the Collection Fast Stroke eyeliner, which I love. When I first got it, it felt a bit watery, but I think once you've shook it up a bit and used it a few times, it's better. I mean, I've only ever used affordable liquid liners, so I don't know what it's like compared to more expensive ones, but to me it works and it does the trick. As I'm telling you how much I love this eyeliner and that it does the trick for me, it works horribly today. Very watery and not great. I think I'm just having one of those makeup days, to be honest. Now I'm going to go on to mascara again, another magazine freebie. It is called Lumiere All Eyes on Me Black Mascara. I think I've used this a couple of times, but I can't really remember what it's like. This mascara isn't actually that bad. It's not like amazing, but it gives quite nice separated lashes. Yeah, it's not the worst. I don't know if it's going to be one of those mascaras that transfers onto like your lid or underneath your eyes or anything. As you can see, it's not that bad. If you want in a more natural look, it's okay. I don't mind it. I'll do a bit of normal contour as well, and I'm going to use a contour kit that I've always loved, and it is my Sleek contour kit in the shade Light. As you can see, it's well loved because I've hit pan, but I'm just going to apply a tiny amount and not like full on swipe it, because that's what takes the foundation off with this one. It doesn't with other foundations that much, but for some reason with this one it does. So I'm just going to like pat it on and slightly blend it, but not too much. This has always been one of my favourites to use. I just think it looks really good and it's really easy to apply. I mean, already you can see my mascara's transferring onto my under eyes, which isn't a good sign. I keep forgetting to mention how much products are, but if you want to know, you can probably look them up. They're all £5 or under, I believe. Now I'm going to use the 17 Cheek Stamp blush, which you will have seen me use in a previous video if you watched my, I think it was full face of first impressions or try new beauty products, I can't remember, but I used this and I actually really love this. This is about a £5 or something as well, maybe a bit less, I can't remember. I tried looking it up, but yeah. And I'm just going to apply this. Obviously it's not going to stay like that, you just apply it like that, which looks crazy to start off with, but then I always get this blush brush from Makeup Revolution and blend it out. Okay, maybe I did put a little bit too much on. Oh no, it's fine. This mascara is transferring so bad on the bottom. Oh dear. Next onto highlighter, and this product is probably the most prime example of being able to get decent makeup without having to spend a lot of money, because this highlighter is flipping amazing and it cost me about £3, and it is this highlighter. It's the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the shade Golden Lights, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it looks like that, and this is one of the most pigmented highlighters you'll ever use. Nearly dropped it. If I show you, little swipe, it's very pigmented, but I'm going to use this today. I'm going to use my fan brush from Makeup Revolution. That's a lie, it's from Real Techniques, and again, a little goes a long way with this, so you don't need. I mean, this shade probably doesn't go with the rest of my makeup look, but it's okay. It's a very gold highlighter, as you can probably tell, but I absolutely love it. It's so pigmented. I've used this so many times. This is one of my go-to highlighters. I have a palette of Makeup Revolution highlighters as well that I use a lot, because they're just, Makeup Revolution is just an amazing brand anyway, but their highlights especially are unreal, like unreal. I don't know if it's showing off on camera, but it's so pigmented. And then I always put a bit down my nose and on the Cupid's bow. Can you see that? It's pretty insane. Finally, we're on to the last part of the video. I feel like this video has been a little bit of a fail, but now we're going to go on to lips. This was, for me, the hardest one to choose because I feel like all of my lip products are a similar price, so it was really hard to choose one. I do have quite a lot of lip glosses that I've had for a long time that are quite cheap and stuff. I found this one, which I actually think was a freebie when I brought a Model's Own nail varnish, and it is this Model's Own lip gloss. Doesn't have a shade name, it just says lip gloss. Yeah, I brought a nail varnish from one of their pop-up shops in Birmingham, and they gave me a free lip gloss, so I'll just use this one. Again, probably not going to go with the rest of the makeup look, but I'm pretty sure it counts as the cheapest one I own because it was free. I don't know if you can buy these separately, and I don't know how much they would be on their own if you were to buy them, but again, I don't even know if you can. It feels very sticky. Okay, so that is the finished makeup look. Please excuse if I have lip gloss all over my teeth because this seems to be going all over the place. I'm running low on battery, so I need to end this quickly, but yeah, this is the finished makeup look. Overall, it was a little bit of a shambles, but you can probably see that some of these products were actually decent products, and definitely doesn't matter how much you spend on makeup, you can still get decent products even if you're not spending a fortune, because I think a lot of people think that you have to spend a lot of money to get decent makeup, but hopefully some parts of this tutorial prove that wrong, because yes, sometimes expensive products are better, but you don't necessarily need to splash out. Overall, not that happy with the look. It's okay, it's bearable. Seemed to have a mishap with the foundation, but overall I don't think it's that bad of a foundation. I feel like it came off a lot worse today than it usually does. Still not my favourite, but it's okay. Everything else, alright, went okay. Again, this is a makeup look that I wouldn't mind wearing, so I guess you could say that's successful. So yeah, really need to end this quickly. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know any other video suggestions. Maybe if you'd like me to do a full face of my most expensive products. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!